We're also working the latest developments tonight in the Aaron Hernandez murder trial.
Today, the jury heard testimony from several more witnesses about the 2013 shooting death of Odin Lloyd, including Lloyd's girlfriend, who's also the sister of Hernandez's fiancé.
Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell is live at Fall River Superior Court now with new details.
Odin Lloyd's girlfriend has been sitting with Lloyd's family throughout this entire process. Today, she shed a few tears but was stoic on the stand.
60.
Day 2 of testimony in Aaron Hernandez's trial. On the stand, one of the men who discovered Odin Lloyd's body.
He was stiff and motionless. Then there were flies flying in and out of his nostrils.
David Swither says he called 911. North Attleboro Fire Captain John White was dispatched to the scene and pronounced Lloyd dead.
The person was laying on their back, face up. Felt the skin. He was very cool to touch at that time, and he was very stiff.
When prosecutors showed photos of Lloyd's body and close-ups of gunshot wounds, his mother got up and left. His girlfriend, Shania Jenkins, stayed in the courtroom silently crying. Then a short time later, she took the stand. She testified that she introduced Lloyd to her sister Cheyenne's boyfriend, Aaron Hernandez, in August 2012.
Sometimes we would go to North Attleboro to visit my sister and Aaron.
During opening statements, the defense used the word friend dozens of times to describe the relationship between Lloyd and Hernandez. Prosecutors zeroed in on that.
How would you have described their relationship?
Like beginning stages of a friendship. From what I'm aware of, they were only really around each other and communicated when I was there. Me and my sister were present.
Shania Jenkins will be back on the stand next week to continue her testimony. In the meantime, coming up new at 6, you will hear her testimony about how Hernandez and Lloyd spent their time together. Shannon and Mike.
Susan, it's obviously a big weekend, Super Bowl Sunday. Will the jurors be able to watch the big game?
The judge addressed that question at the very end of the day today. She told the jurors they can watch the Super Bowl, but she said if there's any mention of Aaron Hernandez at all, they have to shut it off, leave the room if anybody's talking about it at any Super Bowl parties. She really wants to make sure they are adhering to this policy of not listening, not hearing about anything at all related to this trial. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Susan. We'll check back in with you for more on the trial on Eyewitness News at 6.
Now Hernandez on trial. Today marked the second day of testimony in the former Patriots player's trial. Investigators described the North Attleboro crime scene where Odin Lloyd's body was found.
Then the victim's girlfriend took the stand where she talked about how her boyfriend and the defendant spent time together. From the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell is outside Fall River Superior Court.
Today, the prosecution didn't get through all of its questions for Shania Jenkins, but we did hear about the relationship between Hernandez and Odin Lloyd. Jenkins says the two were becoming friends and they smoked marijuana together. Shania and Cheyenne Jenkins are sisters. Shania was dating Odin Lloyd. Cheyenne was with Aaron Hernandez. The four spent time together.
Sometimes we would go to North Attleboro to visit my sister and Aaron.
Shania Jenkins testified that Hernandez and Lloyd smoked marijuana together and said Lloyd usually rolled the joints.
He showed me a picture of a bunch of them rolled up and stacked on his phone.
This is the photo Shania Jenkins just described. The prosecution also showed several other photos trying to establish that this photo was taken in Aaron Hernandez's basement.
What is that?
The bar in the basement.
In terms of its color, how would you describe that?
Like a dark wood color.
Is there anything different about that color than the exhibit I had showed you before? Exhibit number 18.
No.
On the stand, Shania also described other parts of Hernandez's home, including the surveillance system and an old car in the garage. She will be back on the stand next week. As court was wrapping up for the day, the judge told jurors they are allowed to watch the Super Bowl this weekend, but said if there's any mention of Aaron Hernandez, they have to turn off the TV. In Fall River with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.